kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
From Talladega, Alabama, the Talladega Superspeedway, welcome to round number 2 of the iRacing Superspeedway Series playoffs. Race 1 in the Xfinity car tonight. Let's get right to it and take a look at who made it and who didn't make it. As we're bringing the points up right now, we're going to get right to it. Chris Worrell currently leads the points, 330 to the good. Brad Peters, 10 points back. Brian Chu, James Lowe tying him with 2 wins each. Chris gets those extra bonus points for having won 3 races in the regular season. James Lowe now has 2 wins after winning last week. Jason Papp got his first win to punch his ticket into round number 2 2 weeks ago. Just the only problem is Jason's not here tonight. He's actually at Volusia Motorsports Park in Volusia County, Florida, driving his real-world super late model. Best of luck to you, Jason, as I know the entire iRacing Superspeedway Series is pulling for you tonight, rooting for you to have a good showing. Mark McFadden made it into the playoffs. So did Ed DeBoer. Michael Anthony made it through. Shane Posey, Tim Henderson, John LeBombard, and Joe Gautier getting the final spot. Eliminated Nick Wing, Brandon Wilson, Greg McConey, and Marcus Adams all out. And looks like a pretty short field here tonight. I'm looking 16 haulers in the infield. But of the guys that have continued on in the playoffs, the only one currently missing, Jason Papp. So he's going to be in a must-win situation next week as we are going to go to, Hot Atlanta for the first time ever for a points race. Hot Atlanta in the next gen next week. 90 laps there. We're doing 85 tonight, 75% fuel fill in the Xfinity cars. So that means we're looking at a pit window right around 28-ish laps, give or take a handful either way. Again, a lot on the line here for this series. At the end of the season, whoever is crowned the iRacing E Superspeedway Series champion, they're walking out of here with $150. 50 for second, 25 for third. Everybody else, thanks for coming. We'll see you next season. As qualifying getting ready to kick off here, as soon as we can get timing and scoring back up. Come on. Bear with me, folks. A little bit of computer issues. There we go. There's our qualifying tower. And there's Ed DeBoer, who's going to be one of the first ones to roll it. James Lowe, another one. Joe Gautier already out on track. Brian Tarnowski already out on track. It's Austin Collins starting to roll it. Let's take a look at what he's running tonight. United States Postal Service Toyota Camry. There is Brian Tarnowski in the race for Stacy, number 28. Cujo himself in the Realtree, number 67 here tonight. You know, Joe Gautier and I roughly the same age, not too far apart. Well, he's got me by about 15 years. But regardless, same mindset. I've got Realtree camo. Actually, no, I've got Moss Yoke on my car. But I don't drive, so it doesn't matter. One and done is what it's going to be for qualifying here, as Ed DeBoer has gone. Well, let's see what this first sector is going to be. He goes initially purple. James Lowe goes purple. As you're following along at the bottom of your screen, anyone you see with a purple line, that is the best of anybody so far. As DeBoer is going to be the first one to lay a time down here. Coming through the tri-oval now. James Lowe is about 5 car lengths back from him. DeBoer goes immediately to the top of the pile. Lowe immediately bumps him off. 70 thousandths of a second to the good. There's Austin Collins. As Joe Gautier sets a time, goes second quick for Gautier. Collins coming through the tri-oval. Sorry, coming through 3 and 4. I apologize. Collins going to be the next one to lay one down as Tarnowski goes third quick now. Bumping DeBoer further down, but qualifying doesn't really matter on a super speedway like this. Time for Collins in the 29, right to the top of the heap. 53.9 flat. Wow. As there is Shane Posey in the, I believe I saw Mountain Dew on the hood of that car. Yes, I did. I think I did. Or not. As Posey goes to the top of the pile. Nice run, sir. Greg McConey and the Purdue Boilermaker number 12 going to be the next one to lay a time down as he's coming down the backstretch with a good head of steam. Still waiting on Pat Clapp, Brandon Wilson, Mark McFadden, Tim Henderson, Nick Wing, Brian Decker, John LeBombard, Chris Worrell, and Brian Chu to all make an attempt at qualifying. They're going to have to hustle it if they're going to get at least a lap in. As McConey brings it into the tri-oval, good head of steam. Michael Anthony, though, behind him, went purple in the first sector. McConey goes purple in the second sector. That's good for second quick for McConey, and something happened. Michael Anthony kills it. Sure exactly what happened there with Anthony. Let's take a look. Yeah, he just decided to abort the lap for some odd reason. Went faster than anybody in the first sector. 26.93 or 9.2. 27 seconds left here in the qualifying. It looks like we're only going to have seven cars actually lay time here. We'll be able to see what those qualifying times look like once we click on over to the grid. Qualifying getting ready to wind on down. Thank you all so much for making us part of your Friday evening. If you haven't done so already, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Let us know who you're pulling for. As Miss Vicky at the track, trying to watch both. And I can guarantee you, those dirt late models of Volusia County put on a hell of a show. Miss Vicky, you have I'm envying you right now. And please do, Brad Mashburn hitting the nail right on the head. Keep us posted on what's going on with Jason. As yes, as much as we wish he was here, we understand why he's not. So, cars starting to grid up now. Let's take a look at tonight's starting grid. Presented by Midwest Motor Customs. Shane Posey gets the pole position, 53.885, 22 thousandths to the good over Greg McConey. Austin Collins only another 2 1,000ths back. James Lowe 1 1,000th off of him in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Joe Gautier and Brian Tarnowski. Tarnowski was the last one to lay time in qualifying. That's going to give us everybody else lined up via their iRating. Ed DeBoer, the last one to lay time in qualifying, starting inside row number 4. He's going to be joined with your current points leader, Chris Worrell. Teammate Michael Anthony going to be starting inside one row back from him in row 5. He's going to be joined with Brian Decker, Pat Clapp, and Nick Wing starting shotgun on the field back there in row number 6. There we go. Row 7, Mark McFadden, Brian Chu, Tim Henderson, and John LeBombard. And starting shotgun on the field is going to be that 501 of Brandon Wilson. So 17 cars scheduled to roll it here tonight from Talladega. As the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car starts to roll at the official pace car of iRacing. For the third week in a row, Shane Posey is going to have the button when we go green. Talk about a quick man. He knows how to get the qualifying done here at Talladega. Going to be fun to see how that translates in a couple of weeks, or next week actually, when we go to Hotlanta. As Posey and McConey leading them around here. I'm seeing a lot of great paint schemes here tonight. A lot of different paint schemes than we're used to. As we are in the morning race, take a look at the weather conditions before we go live here. 71 degree ambient air temperature, 71 degree track temperature, 8 a.m. in time. They wanted to keep this track as cool as possible and not have the heat be a detriment. About 1,000 feet of elevation, 73% relative humidity means it's muggy here in Talladega, and it's going to get even muggier as this race wears on. A couple things to keep in mind. Unlimited tire sets, 75% fuel fill. We're looking right around 28 to 30 laps, I would assume, give or take, before we're going to see green flag pit stops. And don't forget, we are at Talladega for the third straight week, so that start-finish line is at the end of pit road. Going to be something to be mindful of. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and she's got a lot of singing here to do. As that pace car makes that lazy left turn onto pit road. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab those boiled peanuts because it's time to get it on in Talladega. Roll Tide Country. Race fans, it's show time! McConey actually getting a better start. Drops the hammers. Lowe goes with him. If that doesn't result in a black flag, McConey's got to be careful as he drops down in front of Posey, leaving James Lowe to lead the top side. It's got Tarnowski and Decker up there with him. Austin Collins on the low side, 3-car tangle on the low side, 2 cars in the middle, 2 cars up top, and then is Nick Wing and Ryan Decker already making it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Drag race going into turn number 3. Posey not close enough to McConey to give him any help right now. Lowe and Tarnowski work the middle. Good news is everybody does have a fast repair. Bad news is everybody does have 1 fast repair. As James Lowe and Tarnowski both get the clear on McConey. Wing and Decker were coming down regardless. Thank goodness everybody was heads up there. Chris Worrell already up into contention as he's the 3rd car in that tango on the top shelf. James Lowe leads the bottom side. Tarnowski and McConey in tow with him. Shane Posey just hanging back, trying to get a safe race early going here. As now Austin Collins is up on the top shelf to join his balls out teammate in Chris Worrell. Decker peels out to go to the top side as Wing was getting a little bit warm. Maybe a little bit too much tape on that Toyota Supra. Down the short chute they come, coming out of turn number 4. McConey jumps up in front of Wing. Give the lap again to Lowe. All important bonus points up for grabs for leading a lap, leading the most laps, and pole position. I believe there's also a bonus point for clean race. But the big bonus points come by punching your ticket into the next round with a race win. 10 bonus points up for grabs for every race win you have. As Chris Worrell with 3 on the season already, looking to make something happen on that top side. Three wide action. Balls out on the top, balls out on the bottom. Dudes racing up the gut. As they come to the line as a dead heat, Chris Worrell with the nose out front by 2 1/1000ths of a second. He and Austin Collins both peel down. Worrell and Collins making it happen there as Wing caught on the high side. He's got Michael Anthony up there for company though. Greg McConey works the middle. He's got Tarnowski now. Worrell, though, still with the nose out front. Now McConey with a car length out front. He's waiting for James Lowe. He's probably going to hold off till Lowe gets the clear. Here comes Decker creeping back into the picture as he now goes to the high side. Little bit of a tap coming through 1 and 2. That's actually going to stack up that outside lane as Worrell and Collins shot out of a cannon. McConey with him down the back straightaway as Collins jumps up for the block on the 12. McConey pushing his heart out right now. They both have the clear on Worrell. McConey drops down. Collins stays up to pick up low. Decker leaning on Worrell coming through 3 and 4. Collins looking to lead a lap with some help from his teammate. That is James Lowe in the Sim Cube number 99. Leaning on McConey now. McConey now with the nose back out front. Drag race to the stripe. Give the lap to McConey by a fender. McConey, Worrell, Tarnowski, Collins, Lowe, Posey, Decker, Wing, Gautier, and McFadden. Your top 10 as they currently sit. Only one retirement to speak of so far, and that is Brian Chu. And I failed to see where Chu had issues. Let's go back and see what did happen to Brian here. Well, he's already having issues. I think Chu is just trying to get show-up points. I don't see anything physically wrong with that car. All 4 tires are attached, so I don't know what happened to the Joe Gibbs Racing number 18 here tonight, but Chu calling it a night early. But his teammates, Chris Worrell, Austin Collins, and James Lowe at the front of this piece right now. And they've got Pat Clapp with them. Clapp, one of the newest members of Balls Out Racing. And the only Ford of the bunch. Everybody else, and most of them in Toyotas, and one Chevy, and yeah. Now Ryan Decker makes a bid on the high side. Worrell pinches up to give some clean air to Austin Collins. Also trying to keep Decker behind him as Decker now has a clean shot. Wing pushing him on that top shelf. Tarnowski and McConey still down on the bottom side. 3 wide since the drop of the green. We're working lap 8. Getting ready to put 8 in the books here tonight. And in case you folks can't tell, I'm feeling a ton better than I was last week. It's McConey still with the nose out front. Got eliminated last week. Was in a must-win situation in the truck. Unfortunately, couldn't get the job done. Got wadded on the last lap. Tarnowski right behind him in that Trish's Hope, number 28. For those of you wondering what Trish's Hope is, do you really have to guess? You haven't been following Sim Racing Media, formerly the Esports Broadcasting Network, for any amount of time. So hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications. For those of you unaware, Trish's Hope is a cancer research fund. They help house families that are going through some of the leading edge treatments around the country. The Trish's Hope really helps not only with cancer treatment, but with hospice care when it's the final days. So you really need to check them out. Let me get the proper thing here, and I'll put it in the live chat. And that is trishshope.com. So we're going to put that in the chat right now. So if you want to make a donation to Trish's Hope, that's really where you're going to want to go. They are non-for-profit, so if you're one of, air quote, those people, yes, it is tax deductible. And they provide so much emotional support for cancer patients in treatment. You know, I know a lot of cancer survivors would be lost without Trixie's Hope. So, you know, if you're looking for, you know, a charity to donate to, in my opinion, they're one of the better ones for cancer. If you're big on helping out in that way, shape, or form. Right now, though, how about some Oreo cookies for everybody as Ryan Decker shows the way. He drops down in front of McConey. McConey's already gotten his bonus point. Decker's still racing for the best of the rest right now. Decker, McConey, Posey, Tarnowski, McFadden, Lowe, Gautier, DeVore, Worrell, Wing. Your top 10 as they currently sit. Timmy Henderson slugging it out with Nick Wing, as is Austin Collins. Those guys have dropped back a little bit. Chris Worrell back there with them. As just like that, we've already got 12 of 85 getting ready to be put in the books. And you know what? We're going to go on board with your pole sitter, Shane Posey. Luckily, I was able to get a GoPro on his helmet before we went live.
Yellow flag is out.
Well, that ended poorly. Take a look at what happened here. Looks like it may have started a right-round Pat Clapp. Oh, yeah, no, something definitely happened to Pat there. Take a look at what happened. There he is on the high side with Chris Worrell. Here comes Austin Collins as Decker shuts the door. Gives Clapp the chrome horn, goes down into Posey. Collins and Decker eat the wall. Ed DeVore nowhere to go. And that is a torn up race car. Let's watch that one again, shall we? Keep your eye on the 65 on the top side. He's going to come down the track. Take a look at what happened here. We're on board with Decker. That's how much that draft can just suck you up into the car in front of you. as you could hear Decker was off the trigger. You know, Decker was off the throttle and still just got into the back of Pat Clapp. And the last thing anybody wants to do is push the pusher. And unfortunately, that's what happened. And we're under the first caution of the night. Working lap 16 of 85. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series playoffs, round number 2, race number 1 here from Talladega, Alabama in the Xfinity car. And no, you're not seeing things. That is 3 Fords at the front of this piece. Mark McFadden gambling by staying out to get that all-important bonus point for leading a lap. Greg McConey wins the battle off pit road. 4 in fuel for himself, 4 in fuel for John LeBombard. Everybody else, fuel only behind him. As McConey and LeBombard stayed out on the second time through. Everybody else coming down to top off. So everybody did get tires. But now we've got a freight train on the top side. McConey hung out to dry as the pace car makes that lazy left turn down below the mustard line. We're getting ready to turn them back loose. 18 laps going to be in the books. McFadden, the control car, as Geico Restart Zone is in effect tonight. John LeBombard plus 13. Right behind him in that Crown Royal number 95. Beautiful purple and black paint scheme on that car. Green flag is out. McFadden drops the hammer. LeBombard doesn't go. Oh boy. This is about to get fun. I believe that's Pat Clapp. Yes, it was. Going to the extreme high side. Wanting to get up and out of the way is McConey. No help right now. As Joe Gautier works the inside. Tarnowski's there. Posey is there. As now McConey does have help from the 99 and the 95. LeBombard leading the way here in the Xfinity. Kannapolis, North Carolina, represented here tonight by John LeBombard. 60 years old, he's still slugging it out there with these young gunners. As a matter of fact, 2 drivers in your top 5, I think 2. I believe it's 2. No, it's 3. 3 drivers in your top 5. And Mark McFadden up there as well, so make that 4. 4 drivers in your top 5, all members of AARP. Just remember, folks, old age and treachery will overcome youth and skill any day of the week. James Lowe, one of the ones that's not yet qualified for AARP, is he's around my age. With the Pied Piper of Portsmouth, Virginia. I can English, I promise I can tonight, folks. Currently showing the way here. But the young gunner of it, Greg McConey, as I believe he's only about, 29 years old, not yet reached his 30th birthday. So the young gunner of the front runners right now, everybody else, what we would call master's class in the RC world of racing, anyone over the age of 40. And anyone over the age of 50 is eligible for AARP. And in case you're wondering, those of you in Canada wondering what that means, the American Association of Retired Persons, AARP. So Mark McFadden, if you became a U.S. citizen, not that you ever really want to, because you guys have better weed up there, as McConey now goes to the front. But AARP, good organization being part of if you're over the age of 50 in the U.S. I'm only about 4 years out from that, having just celebrated my 46th trip around the sun here back in December. McConey, Lowe, Decker, McFadden, Collins, Henderson, Tarnowski, Gautier, Posey, and Wade. Your top 10 as we currently sit. John LeBombard got that all-important bonus point for leading the lap. And he has dropped back just to try to ride this one out, make sure that he stays out of trouble here tonight. As he was coming in tonight, still in contention in the playoff. So, let's take another look at the point situation coming into tonight. Worrell with a 10-point lead. Peters, Chu, and Lowe all tied for second. And then we've got a logjam in the middle here, with a tie for fifth between McFadden, DeVore, Papp, and Anthony. Posey and Henderson, LeBombard, and Gautier, all with a logjam for eighth, all at 3,000 points right now. So your top 12 in points are currently the ones that are still in and still have a shot at coming home with the iRacing E Superspeedway Series Championship. And Miss Vicky answering the question, I thought she told me one time she lived about 4.5 hours from where Jason races, and she confirmed it. Dirt Vision, second greatest streaming service that you can find for racing. greatest speed sports sim racing media, which thank you all so much for being a part of it tonight. Austin Collins making a bid on that top shelf. He's got Tim Henderson, one of my Central New York Finger Lakes runners right now. Tim representing Watkins Glen, New York, currently sitting in 5th, plus 10 from where he started as he didn't play a time in qualifying. Ryan Decker having to burn that fast repair under the caution that we just had. As it looks like McConey looking to work with James Lowe right now being the fuel pig for the driver that just punched his ticket into this round of the playoff last week, eliminating McConey. And I was looking before to see who was going to be in. Had Lowe not gotten that win, guess who it would have been? The car directly in front of him, Greg McConey, would have been in had Lowe not won. But right now, Tim Henderson leads that top shelf. He's got Collins and Decker up there with him. McFadden currently sitting in 3rd. There he is on the low side in the Xfinity number 48 Ford Mustang. Mark McFadden track championship up there in BC, Canada land. And Sally Hammond, I don't know if I ever told you this, but trivia question for tonight. How did they name the country of Canada? Looking for Miss Sally to get this one right. How did they name the country of Canada? Tim Henderson now makes a bid for the lead on the top side. Watkins Glen in the house. Ryan Decker pushing on him right now as an aggressive run. Coming on the top side, going to get the run down the hill, coming through the tri-oval. McConey trying to get up there. Henderson, though, going to hold him off. Henderson with the all-important bonus point for leading the lap. And Brad Mashburn, yes, Wilson is out early. He did not take the green. He's actually helping out in race control tonight with Frank Marchese. Do need to thank both of them for being up in the race control booth. That is not an easy job and not one I would ever want again. I've done my time in race control. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll just stay home and drink beer. And that's big talk from a recovering alcoholic. Henderson drops down in front of McConey, coming through 3 and 4. That's going to open up the door for Decker and Collins on the top side. Decker now with a nose out front, using the same thing that Henderson did earlier. Decker and Collins both 1 and 2 right now. Dudes Racing and Balls Out Racing working together. Henderson, the independent, testing the waters with the Dudes Racing group. Collins being a little bit more aggressive than Henderson is, or than McConey is, sorry, as they're pushing the respective lanes. Chris Worrell looking to make a 3rd lane. Is Collins going to go with him? That's the question right now. Collins for Balls Out Racing on the top, or in the middle lane right now. Chris Worrell looking to make a 3rd one. Timmy Henderson in the lead right now, though. Still waiting for an answer from Miss Sally. How did they name the country of Canada? I will give you the answer before the race is out. Just waiting to see if Miss Sally knows. Being as she is one of our friends from the Great White North, we'll take an answer from just about anybody, too, if you're looking to get in on tonight's trivia question. As McConey bails out, goes to the back. It was starting to get a little bit hot there. Henderson, though, showing the way on the bottom side. Decker with Collins on the top shelf. James Lowe now working with Henderson. Those two Camaros looking to hook up. But a Chevy on Chevy crime at the front of this piece is Decker going to steal the lap from Henderson. And just because you know it's me, you've got to be thinking tonight's trivia question is going to be the dumbest answer possible. Henderson, Collins, Lowe, Worrell, McFadden, Decker, Posey, Tarnowski, McConey, and Gauthier, your top 10 as they currently sit. So we're blanket over your top 8 as we got a little bit of a gap for it back to McConey and Gauthier. Tarnowski doing everything he can with that very wounded number 28. Didn't burn his fast repair as Collins now takes the lead over. Decker bailed out. Probably wasn't comfortable knowing that those two balls out cars were right behind him and get ready to push on each other. Collins now shows the way. Chris Worrell, your current points leader, right behind him. And Decker almost pushing the pusher. That's the first rule of bump drafting here at a super speedway. Don't push the pusher. You can push the bubble, but don't push the car. Those of you wondering what I'm talking about, there is an actual air bubble that forms around these cars via the iRacing algorithms. You can push the bubble, but when you get close enough to actually physically push the car in front of you, that's when all hell will break loose. They don't have the numbers on that second lane currently. That's why Henderson and Lowe are able to hang real tight with them as Henderson continuing to show the way. Currently, he's going to bail out now, getting a little too chippy at the front of this piece. Gauthier not going to give him room. Actually, Gauthier is going to give him room. Kind of a stack up behind him. That's going to let that front pack get a little bit away from these guys. They're going to have to get hooked up, and they're going to have to push on each other to get up there. As there's our answer. McFadden peels out on lap 32. Now, you can normally save about 2 laps under a caution as McFadden locks him down to come down pit road. So saving those 2 laps under caution, lap 32 going to 33. Yep, that's about where we thought we were going to be. Right around lap 30 for a 75% fuel fill. And still waiting on an answer from Miss Sally Hammond. So I will give you the answer to tonight's trivia question of how did they name the country of Canada? And I actually had a friend of mine from Bowmanville, Ontario tell me this. Yes, that Bowmanville, Ontario. How do they come up with the name for the country? They threw a bunch of consonants in a bag, and they pulled them out one at a time. C, A, N, A, D, A. Okay, that's good enough. Love you, Mark. Unfortunately, Mark's going to go about a lap down here. The only good news is once the pack passes him, he's going to be able to get in line wherever he can and then get back to it. If another caution comes out, he's going to be the first car scored 1 or more laps down. As a matter of fact, about to be the only car still running a lap down. Everybody else had a clean pit stop back there on lap 16 or 17. McFadden stayed out. That's why he's off pit cycle from everybody else. So we're about 10 laps away from where we're going to see everybody else come down pit road. Collins, Lowe, Posey, Henderson, Tarnowski, Worrell, Gauthier, Decker, McConey, and Michael Anthony rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. As you can see Chris Worrell right there in your shot. He's another one where we were able to get a GoPro camera on his helmet before we went live. Matter of fact, we got him before he even broke through tech. We're going to go on board, turn it up for Chris Worrell. Oh, lovely. I forgot to turn my mic on when we came back from that from that Turn It Up segment. Folks, I do apologize. I've been talking my backside off here, and nobody could hear a thing I was saying. Sorry about that. Thanks for pointing it out, Brad. I do thank you for that. And don't ask me to repeat everything I just said because I don't remember it. But we do have Money Stop now done and dusted. 4.5 seconds is the gap for James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Michael Anthony, Austin Collins, Pat Clapp. 4.5 seconds over Nick Wing, Greg McConey, Joe Gautier, Tim Henderson, and Brian Tarnowski. Ed DeBoer, after taking 2 tires, got hung out to dry on that green flag pit stop. What could have been? He and Shane Posey both shooting themselves in the foot. And here comes Collins and Clapp. So that's going to relinquish 4th and 5th. Lowe, Worrell, and Anthony going to race it out. Are we going to see another Balls-Garana sweep of the podium? 10 laps to go here at Talladega. Race number 1 of round number 2, the round of 12, here in the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. If you haven't done so already, and I'm wondering what you guys are waiting for, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. We've got a push going on right now to try to get to 3,000 subscribers. We're only about 70 off of it. I believe 75 was the last number I heard from our statistician, Frank Marchese, who just so happens to be up in the race control tower tonight. Thank you so much for doing that, Frank. I wouldn't want to jump on that grenade. I'm not a fan of doing that. But 9 laps to go. James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Michael Anthony, now 5 seconds to the good over this second group. They've got the numbers. Do they have the speed? That's the question. And I don't think they're organized enough to make this happen. McConey right now pushing the daylights out of Nick Wing. McConey's got to be careful. Ryan Decker already hand grenaded an engine, sending the rods out the side of the block, overheating it and just boiling the oil. So McConey's got to be mindful of that. Brian Tarnowski, that car looks like it's been through a war zone tonight. As you can see, the front end of that Trisha'sHope.com number 28 of Tarnowski. Not sure what happened there. Let's never talk about that again. Miss Sally, yes, you are correct. I forgot to turn my mic back on. And yes, Miss Sally, I do know that pot is legal up in Canada in certain amounts. It's legal here in New York State. You just can't take any across the border with you for some effed up reason. Mostly because it's federal territory on the bridge. And it's not legal federally legal here in the United States. But if you ever decide to come across the border and take a look at your southern neighbors here in New York State, hey, toke it up, because it's perfectly legal here. Just remember the first rule of toking: don't bogart that joint. James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Michael Anthony, your top 3. Austin Collins right there for help is a lap down. 6 laps to go. And the gap is now 6 seconds from Michael Anthony to Nick Wing. Worrell making sure he gets enough clean air to the radiator of that Toyota Supra. Anthony doing the same for his Supra, as is Collins in his. And they are pushing on the Chevy of James Lowe. Five to go. Lowe, Worrell, Anthony, Wing, McConey, Gautier, Henderson, Tarnowski, and DeBoer, your lead lap cars. Austin Collins, the first car, one or more laps down. There he is with that lead pack. It just goes to show you that everything Greg McConey has always told us is true. 4 cars, as long as you push on the bubble, 4 cars can pull away from everybody. 4 laps to go. We have to make it to the white flag for us to race back to checker. Shout out to my aide for putting in the extra hours tonight to make sure that I have clean dishes to cook with for her tomorrow. Ryan Decker checking in. Yeah, unfortunately, Ryan, we were on you when that happened, so tough break, my friend. We'll see you next week in hot Atlanta. Three to go. Lowe continues to show the way. I can guarantee you we're going to be 3 wide at the finish line. I can guarantee you that much. Especially with the 4 cars that we've got in this little group, we're going to be at least 3 wide. Because I know that that team has only one rule, and that is try not to kill each other. Try not to kill each other. However, if you are going to kill each other, make damn sure it's a Sports Center highlight for the next year and a half. Not just year and a half. Coming through the tri-oval. 5 miles left in this piece. James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Michael Anthony with an 8-second gap. We are under caution. Tarnowski and Wing both sideways. What just happened? They're running stem to stern. Wing looks like he got into Tarnowski. Bump draft in the tri-oval, turns Tarnowski. Tarnowski's around. Shane Posey eats the wall. And just like that, we're going into overtime. As we're going to see that again. This is what the eye in the sky picked up. Keep your eye on the white and purple car. That's Tarnowski. Wing is going to get into his back bumper coming through the tri-oval. Wing's not lined up. Gets to the inside and just turns Tarnowski. Tim Henderson just able to avert disaster. As Tarnowski gets spit out. Now's a good time to burn your fast repair, Brian, as I believe you still have it. And just like that, we're going into overtime, and guess who's now the luckiest boy on the planet? Austin Collins. Austin Collins gets the free pass. As he was scored the first car 1 or more laps down. Now the question is anybody going to come pit side this time for tires? As everybody has now caught the pace car, it looks like your top 3 are going to stay out. Looks like everybody else is staying out as well. Just as I say that, Greg McConey comes down. Posey goes pit side. Tarnowski goes pit side, as was kind of to be expected. Looks like Patrick Clapp has hand grenaded an engine. There's Posey and McConey. Posey slid through his box again. Tarnowski did burn his fast repair. As you can see, that's a new grille and rear bumper on that Chevy Camaro. There's Ed DeBoer, who was the last car on the lead lap. Nick Wing getting some damage repair. Decker still getting the engine swapped out in that car. Wing down and away. DeBoer looking to do the same. Posey spending an extended period of time. He already burned his fast repair. Now he's got to try to get the wheel wells pulled back out on the right side of that car. Well, this is about to get good. So James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Michael Anthony. Joe Gautier and Tim Henderson all stayed out. Greg McConey, Brian Tarnowski, Nick Wing, Ed DeBoer, and Austin Collins. Well, Austin Collins just got the free pass to get back on the lead lap, but Ed DeBoer came down to get some damage repair. Nick Wing got some damage repair. Brian Tarnowski got some damage repair. And looks like Greg McConey got some damage repair as well. Katie barred the door because it's going to be a green-white checker finish, the first of 3 attempts. Keep in mind that the way this is going to work is everybody is going to take the green flag. The leader has to cross the start-finish line to start the white flag lap for us to race back to checkers. If that doesn't happen, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again for up to 3 total attempts. If at the end of those 3 attempts we don't have a white flag lap, field frozen, race over, good night Irene. Who's Irene? You'll know her when you see her. Here we go. First attempt, getting ready to get locked, cocked, and loaded here. First attempt at a green and white checker. James Lowe going to have the button when we get ready to turn them back loose. That 8-second lead that they had is now null and void. Field forming up 2x2 behind the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Your 2 biggest movers tonight are going to be Chris Worrell and Tim Henderson. Henderson currently +9, back in 6th. Looking to improve on that. Worrell currently sitting +7 on the outside of row number 1. Biggest mover in the wrong direction, though, that belongs to Shane Posey. Not being able to recover after shooting himself in the foot under what should have been the money stop. Space car makes that lazy left turn down pit road. It goes. Here we go. 2 laps to settle it here at Talladega. Lowe has the button. Into the Geico restart zone they go. Flagger has the green flag in his hand. We restart on James Lowe.
Green,
He's got
green,
Michael
green.
Anthony for company. He pulls the trigger, and we are underway. Worrell drags the brake a little bit and gets the chrome horn from Joe Gautier. The question is, did James Lowe get too good of a getaway right now? Michael Anthony's going to have a run on him on the exit of 2. Is he going to use it? The answer is no. Henderson working with him on the low side right now. Worrell trying to keep Gautier in check. Worrell about to get swallowed up. McConey now pushes on Worrell down the backstretch. Lowe, Anthony, and Henderson on the low side with Darnowski in the 28. At DeBoer, Greg McConey working the middle. DeBoer still in the playoffs, the only member of that team still eligible. Just looking for a good finish here. Contact between, that was Cujo and Austin Collins getting into each other, coming into the trial. Cujo got spit out. White flag in the air. We are racing back to checkers. James Lowe controls the bottom lane. Michael Anthony, Chris Worrell there to race it with him. Anthony hemmed up in the middle. McConey looking to play spoiler on the top side. Down the back straightaway they come. Still in a drag race going into turn number 3. Worrell and Lowe slugging it out here. We're going to be at least 3 wide coming to the stripe, if not 4. I can promise you this, folks. McConey ducks out. DeBoer goes with him. DeBoer looking to get a third lane. McConey going to pull him along. Not enough time. James Lowe for the win. Michael Anthony and Tim Henderson rounding out your race winners. I told you we were going to be at least 3 wide, and we were. We were almost 4 wide coming to the stripe. Your winner, the Pied Piper of Portsmouth, Virginia. James Lowe coming home with yet another victory on the season. That marks his 3rd time seeing victory lane this season, and immediately punches his ticket into the round of 8. Michael Anthony and Tim Henderson rounding out your top 3 here tonight. Let me find him. As he gets ready to do the celebratory donuts. Time to make the donuts, James Lowe, and bring them back to Portsmouth, Virginia. Congratulations on punching your ticket into the round of 8.
Hey, appreciate it, Tony.
Talk us through what was going through your mind when that caution came out with 2 to go.
Honestly, it's kind of typical with this, with our series, you know. When somebody's got a big lead, there always seems to be a caution right before the white flag comes out. But, you know, it is what it is. We still made it count, and Mike gave me a hell of a push there and sent me to the win.
Absolutely did. Are you going to return the favor next week in Atlanta if given the chance?
Oh, absolutely. Mike or Chris or somebody's going to win next week, you know. That's the goal anyway.
What are your thoughts going into the, I believe it's, let me just double check this. I'm seeing Next Gen at Atlanta next week, the new Atlanta.
Well, when we did the All-Star race, I won there, so maybe that's a good sign. But, yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. It was good racing last time we were there. It was really fun, and everybody raced really clean, and we'll see. Hopefully we can do it again.
Absolutely. James, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Jason Papp. He's racing tonight in Volusia, so if you see him on Facebook or Twitter, you know, reach out to him and cheer him on. I'm watching on Dirt Vision, but I was racing, obviously, so I'm not sure what's happening with him, but yeah, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, Midwest Motor Customs, Circle B Diecast, I know I'm forgetting one, but that's
Rowdy
okay.
Energy.
All the boys in the chat, Mary Alice, Aunt Mary Alice, I know is watching. Uncle Rich, how's it going? And you for broadcasting, man. You do a great job.
All right, the Pied Piper of Portsmouth, Virginia. We'll see you next week in Hotlanta.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
And joining us now, Boston's own Michael Anthony, coming up one more time as the bridesmaid. What do you got to do to beat James?
I was content pushing it tonight, man. I was happy if we were all in line there. We shouldn't have had that caution really early. I don't think we'll have to go back and look at it, but I was content pushing either James or Chris to the line. I was happy where I was.
Well, Mike, definitely a good points night. Is you're getting ready to go on to, or you made it into let's put it this way, you made it into the round of 12. Good points night for you. Not necessarily in a must-win situation, but it would definitely help next week as we go into Atlanta. What are your thoughts going into that race with the next gens?
I can't wait for that race. I think we should have had that track on the schedule a little bit more this season. Just switch it up, but yeah, I can't wait for that race. I'm taking it a little bit easy the first couple of races, hanging back, just kind of hopefully guaranteeing a decent finish, and then in the next few races I'll start to pick it up, be a little bit more aggressive.
All right, Mike, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
My good buddies James and Chris, my balls out racing teammates. Haven't really gotten together too much lately, but I know the NASCAR season's starting up here soon, and we'll get to hanging out with them again soon. You guys for the broadcast. Jason, I know he's out racing tonight. Wish him good luck. Circle B Diecast, iRacing iFlag, Butt Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs. That's about it.
Michael Anthony, congratulations on another podium. We'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. And the man who has podiumed the last couple of weeks here, Watkins Glen, New York's own Tim Henderson. Tim, this is getting to be habit.
As I said last week, job's not finished.
Job's not finished, but you got a podium. Great points night for you. This is going to help at least point your way into the round of 8. Just need a good finish next week in Atlanta. What are your thoughts going into that race with the Cup car, the next gen Cup cars?
I think I can't really say I have a great shot, but because Superspeedway racing, Atlanta has been a thorn in my side since we got the update. So we'll see what I can do with it. But the next gen car, I love it at Superspeedways, and I'd like to get a win. I'm not, just really want a top 5. I think that'll be the best scenario.
Well, Tim, again, another great finish. I don't know if you saw what happened there coming to the white flag with your teammate, Joe Gautier, but he almost got yeeted.
No, I didn't see, but unfortunately, I'd like to see him move on to the next round along with the Mr. Posey. Unfortunately, Brian hasn't wasn't in it, so just got to get him. Got to get one of them into a good spot for next week.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, right now it's you and Cujo are the only two that are. No, 3 of you are left. No, I take that back. Yes, all 3 of you are left. So, still have a shot at pulling this one off. But Tim, best of luck to you next week in Atlanta. We'll see you then.
Yeah, I'll have to put a big "job's not finished" on the windshield.
Looking forward to it. But Tim, again, if you ever swing up to the Auburn area, beers are on me.
You ever swing to the Syracuse area, beers are on me.
I'm just outside Syracuse, bud.
I know you are.
So, yeah, we'll have to get hooked up sometime. But, yeah, see you next week in Atlanta.
All right, see you, bud.
So that is going to do it for us here tonight. Take a look at our finishing order. Only 17 cars making the call. James Lowe, Michael Anthony, Tim Henderson. We just spoke to those three gentlemen. Brian Tarnowski, Chris Worrell, Greg McConey, Ed DeBoer, Nick Wing, Austin Collins, Joe Gatti rounding out your top 10 and lead lap cars. Shane Posey, unfortunately, been caught speeding, to paraphrase a Jane's Addiction song. As he comes home, first car one lap down. Mark McFadden used pit strategy to get a bonus point for leading the lap. Unfortunately, coming home in 12th. Pat Clapp got caught a lap down after the green flag after the money stop. Ryan Decker, hand grenades and engine. John LeBombard had issues. Brian Chu gets the show-up points, ran 2 laps and called it good. Brandon Wilson did not start. That is going to do it for us here tonight. Again, be sure to join us on Sundays. We've got a double header in store for you on that one. 7:50 Eastern Time, we kick things off with the Dynasty Racing League Pro Series, super late models. It looks like. Nope, I take that back. Those are ARCAs. Round number 3 at Vegas, and that's a 7:50 Eastern Time start on that one. 8:50, we go to the Fast Racing League. Thank a Farmer 130 from New Smyrna Speedway. Those are the super late models. And then Monday night, we've got the triple header for you starting at 8:20 Eastern Time with the SCL International Cup Series, Season 34 opener from Daytona, along with the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, Round 7 from Rockingham in the trucks. Both of those starts are going to be 8:20 Eastern Time. And then 20 minutes later, we go to the All-Pro Sim Winter Heat Series, the J. Ray's Jerky Beef Dog Treats 100 at Five Flags in the super late models again. So for Frank Marchese over in the race control booth, this is Hunter Pass. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again as you walk down the road of life this week, do me a favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.